It somehow just keeps getting better for the Montreal Canadiens in another must-win game in the fight for the playoffs. Laine Hutson makes NHL history like he does every single night. Patrick Laine with one of the snipes of the year. Caufield setting a new career high in points, and our boy Jakob Dobes in net locking it down. So much went right in this game as Montreal now moves 6 points up on the New York Rangers for that final playoff spot, and we got to break it all down coming up on this episode of Habs Digest. And guys, before we get into it, you guys subscribed like crazy last night. Now we're less than 700 away from 20k subs. We'd love to hit that as we head into the playoffs, because you know you'll want to stay up to date every single day, every single playoff game from this channel. This is the spot to be. Thank you for being here. Hit the free button down below. Jesse, what better way to start than just flashing up the box score like we always do, because there's honestly a lot to look at. What an insane game, once again being down 1-0. Almost down 2-0, but a goal that was called back for goalie interference. This team just finds a way every time, and it's always the same guys. How you feeling after this win? There's a ton of implications on the standings as well. Every night I'm psyched. Like, it's the most exciting time of all day every time I get to watch the Montreal Canadiens play.
Just gutting it out right now. It's just, we're smelling the playoffs so close. Getting that 5-game win streak. And sometimes, Josh, like, it's not going to be always those Picassos, but it's really bending, not breaking, and kind of getting those rewards sometimes for maybe games that you should have won, where you played that prettier game, didn't quite go your way. But when you kind of stick to your system, you keep doing it right, eventually you're kind of getting rewarded here. So absolutely just phenomenal. Again, when we need it. And a lot of our big players, stepping up. But as we're seeing from the highlights, guys like, Patrick Laine, when it really matters tonight, 5v5, just making that shot, making something happen here. But Josh, like, it seems like obviously there was that amazing, like, for looking at turning points, like Martin St. Louis, obviously with an amazing decision to overturn one of the goals, a call that was overturned for them there on the goalie interference. But again, Josh, like, you have to feel like another big point of the difference, like, for the Montreal Canadiens was, we know this was second night of a back-to-back, but they were able to dig deep and really kind of find like that, pick up that game of that pace of play in the second period to really kind of propel that victory and kind of snag that victory from the Predators.
Oh my goodness, yeah, like, hey, look, they're the saber-toothed tigers, but we're the ones that were snatched. We were hunting tonight. That's the thing. They have really nothing to play for. They're well out of the playoffs right now. Sorry, Nashville. I know you spent a lot of money, but this is the thing. This is, again, one of these trap games that we talk about. But, Jesse, I'm starting to think that none of these games are trapped games. We're just like, Montreal's the better team. They're going to win. Now, we got outshot pretty badly on this game. But, again, finding those ways to win, creating those offensive chances. But one guy that did keep us in it, and I know we'll talk about some other stuff a bit later, it's Jakob Dobes. And, I mean, honestly, he has an argument for the Mitchell Stevens player of the game. I might give my stick to Dobes, Jesse. I don't know about you. We might give this out early tonight. By the way, for all you that know, this is the good luck charm. Shout out Mitchell Stevens in the comments down below. Yes, you who's watching right now, show some love. Honestly, Jesse, he seemed a bit rusty early because, like, let's be honest, this dude hasn't been getting too many reps. Like, Samuel Montembeault's been getting most of the starts. He's been a bit rusty, sitting on the bench for a couple weeks, giving up a lot of rebounds. But when it mattered most, he made the saves. It doesn't matter how, it matters the result. And especially late in that game with so many chances in close, people falling on top of him, he was there to stand up for this team. And honestly, I'm thrilled that we have a backup that we can rely on night in, night out if Monty needs a break.
And this was a really big game for him because we know Jakob Dobes started off really hot, but then he kind of cooled things down a little bit over his last couple stretch, going down 1-4 over his last 5. So like getting this win for him was really big. And believe me, like this was a tough one because the Montreal Canadiens took a couple penalties. We don't want to chalk it up just maybe being a little bit tired, maybe a couple hooking penalties there.
Pesetas, bro.
I know not quite having that energy there. But Dobes was so big. There was a couple of them like in that second period on the PK and in the third where he was obviously so big. But he kept his best for lap, Jakob Dobes did. At the end of this game, like he was just getting bombarded, right? And in front of the net, he was able to just keep his composure. And again, like, was it always like a perfect performance? No, but he kind of showed like that heart and that willingness to kind of compete in the net and that effort that we've kind of been seeing from Montembeault that we know now Dobes has, that we know Fowler wants to bring to the table. So amazing having those goalies that have that fire and that compete to win in the net for us every night.
I love it too because there was one play where he kind of got crashed into and he starts going hunting the Predators players. Like, my teammates got it. Okay, now I skate away. I love that attitude from Dobes. I mean, look, him being aggressive gets him in trouble at times, but is it ever fun to watch? This guy's one of the most fun goalies to watch in the league. But look, speaking of fun to watch, I mean, we'll roll the highlight again. Just again, Laine Hutson to Patrick Laine. These guys are insane. We just got some more Hutson stats for you because why not, right? 64 points now for Laine Hutson. He tied Chris Chelios' record for the most points ever by a rookie Habs defenseman. I'm pretty sure a rookie Hab ever, unless I'm wrong, right? I don't think there's any rookie. Unless I'm wrong, we'll take a look after. But he had an assist on Patrick Laine's goal, which was amazing. Most assists in a rookie season ever. Straight up ever. Most assists in a rookie season ever, mind you. Peter Stastny was the original. My bad. Peter Stastny, Joe Juneau, Brian Trottier, Sidney Crosby, Matt Barzal, Sergei Makarov, Larry Murphy, Neil Broughton, and then it's Laine Hutson tied with Dale Hawerchuk. Jesse, this list is insane. And this, like, again, he's gonna crack into this, like, what? He's in the top 10 already. He might even get to the top 5 here. He might get into the top 3. It's not crazy to say he get 5 more assists the rest of the way out and tie Trottier and Crosby and Barzal for third all-time forward or defenseman, and on top of that, he leads the NHL in plus-minus since the Four Nations break with a plus 17. Again, for anyone saying, like, oh, just secondary assist merchant, oh, whatever, this doesn't, like, look, the assist numbers are insane. And for his, it's bad defensively because he's small. Best plus-minus in the league since Four Nations. I know it's not a great stat to take in a vacuum, but considering the context as well, Jesse, yeah, the team is rolling, but we've had a few losses since the Four Nations too. Best in the NHL is nothing to scoff at. It's been unreal to watch this guy cook, this guy work, and I know we talk about him every day, but when we have these historic stats, literally night after night, we absolutely can't help it.
For sure. Laser passing again, like, you know, to set up these goals, like, and we might think we have like a 6-point cushion right now, and like, oh, we're just going to kind of cruise to the playoffs. It's like, no, we're going to need every single one of these points to really make it in. Like, this game again tonight, kind of wrestling it from the Predators is big. And obviously, like, you know, our boy Laine, like, contributing to that is absolutely just so huge. So like these efforts, every single goal in this game was definitely needed. And what he's doing again to just kind of change that attack there to get it to our boy Laine, again, getting 20 goals now, just a night of so many milestones, like missing basically half the season. Like, we know as this team is getting success, there's a direct correlation between, you know, the Leafs salt that we get and the Montreal Canadiens, you know, success, between Laine Hutton's success and Leafs salt. We're going to need to get out the graph, Josh. We're going to need to kind of point that out and kind of graph that out here. But again, you know, we got Laine missing half the season, getting out, you know, 20 goals here. We got Caufield, like, again, 36. You got to love just seeing that, you know, that beside his name this season here. And of course, like Nick Suzuki, 84 points, like just a season of just so many personal bests right now, and we're really needing all of it right now at really such a key time, Josh. But like, again, we have to like reiterate, this wasn't a perfect game, no. But is the Montreal Canadiens' success a coincidence at this point? It is not. For the last part of this season, and especially since the Four Nations, we have been one of the better teams in the NHL. And it just so happens, like good teams do, when you're playing that way, that you're going to win, that momentum's just going to carry over. Where like, even when you're not playing your best, you're still going to find a way to end up with those 2 points at the end of the night. Get a little bit of goalie, you know, showing up, your big gun showing up, and the rest is history from there. So again, the boys are finding a formula right now. For sure, they're going to want to kind of make a little bit less penalties going forward, but gutting it out, I mean, is nothing new to this team, and we're proud of them for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like, it's tough too. The Predators hadn't played since Thursday. They were well rested, especially with the veteran legs they have, right? That's really important. And the Habs played yesterday in Montreal. You have less than 24 hours to travel down to Nashville from Montreal to prepare for a game and play for while your playoff lives are at stake, and you make it work. You get outshot badly, you start out slow as expected, and it doesn't matter. You find a way to claw back. You keep the Predators to the outside. You don't give up a ton of high danger chances. A couple, look, that Matheson turnover was not great, but the Habs did everything they needed to do, and that's the point, Jesse. That's how these scrappy teams get these scrappy wins. And look, again, the penalties, for sure, I'm in agreement. Pizzetta took a pretty bad one. Xhekaj was okay tonight, but Pizzetta also had a great fight. Look, I think he might have lost the fight, but I don't even care. It's a win in my book because of what he did against the bigger opponent. Like, insane that Pizzetta was willing to do that, take those shots, and punch Engelland right back. Like, just such a crazy game all the way around. It's the exact kind of game you want as you're setting the tone one last time, showing the standings, heading into these playoffs. Look, it's in our hands right now, Jesse. We got another tough little schedule here. We got another back-to-back coming this week, which is another crazy one. Friday and Saturday against the Sens and the Leafs, back-to-back nights. We got Detroit on Tuesday, but hey, we're going to be here to walk you guys through everything. Don't forget the live stream Monday tomorrow. Tune in for that, but that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, which I sure hope you did, hit the subscribe button down below, completely free, and we'll be keeping you up to date on all things Habs, all playoffs, all off-season long, and for many years to come, we hope. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.